Hey, what's up? Um, anyways, so today is Sunday, August 3rd, 2014. And today on CNN, reliable sources this morning, I watched an interview with Glenn Beck. And the interview was titled The Evolution of Glenn Beck. Um, and the host was talking with Glenn Beck about certain statements he made and how Glenn Beck in the past, how he feels as if he has contributed to tearing the country, the USA, apart and causing, you know, uh, different isolated views and things of that nature towards the government and America as a whole. Um, the thing is, watching the interview, I remember listening to Glenn Beck years ago, before Barack Obama was even president, and the thing was, he was critical of Obama, but he was also critical of John McCain during the election in the campaign race, and he was critical of both of them, and he has made some statements, and it does help feed that hatred or those negative feelings towards certain people or certain political parties and whatnot. And during this interview, he was asked about different things, and I thought it was really good. I thought it was really interesting to see how Glenn Beck over the years has evolved as a person, and his views have kind of changed, and that's why when he left Fox, now he's not so much focused on politics and politicians themselves, because he's come to the realization that for him to focus on those things and try and cause changes in the government, something that has policies, is relatively an uphill battle that might not be winnable in that approach. It's not a battle, a lifelong journey that Glenn Beck, even with all the press and all the medium he has for exposure, it doesn't really give him sway to really influence change. So he's kind of changed his format, and what he's done is, you know, he's got his, big network, his personal team, and the host of the interview was like, well, you have all these conservatives on your panel. And Glenn Beck was like, I don't see it that way. And at the same time, Glenn shared a story about him walking down the street in New York City with his daughter, and, people saying negative things to him all the time because of his fame. The thing is, with people in the mainstream media and all these pop culture icons and stuff, like he pointed out, they're just people. They're just people, and to say hateful things to people, it affects them as a person. It affects their family. It affects, how they start to see things. And then at some point, some people either snap back at all the negativity, or they do as Glenn has done and kind of embrace it and help to change and mold how they view and do things. You can't, it's impossible to make everybody happy. But at the same time, by exciting more negativity, it just promotes more negativity down the road. So one of the big things I wanted to commend Glenn Beck and let him know that I personally have, especially from the interview he did just today, he really did show that he has evolved as a person. The thing is, he wants that humanitarian, that everybody's works together, you know. And he said one thing in particular that kind of stuck with me because it's part of my personal philosophy, and that's about the honor and integrity of what he does. My whole thing's, you know, one of my big things is live with honor, die with integrity, or vice versa, live with integrity, die with honor. Because those are strong words that mean a lot, but their power seems to be negated by the negativity in the world. So I wanted to just personally thank Glenn Beck for what he is doing now. What he has done in the past may have been on the cusp. He also, in the interview, he mentioned another thing. He's like, his job is not to present things. His job, in essence, is to present things in a way where people want to look at it. So sometimes that means presenting things in a way that may seem controversial, that may have a bias, because it does stir that media buzz, and it does draw people to look at a certain topic or a certain thing. A lot of these videos that I've been doing, a lot of them, I've touched on race, I've touched on religion, I've touched on God, and kind of somewhat heavily. And the thing is, I want to get those topics out of the way because those topics really aren't where I want to take this. So I talked a lot about those things, and in previous videos, like about Jesus and my personal views on Jesus, I wanted to get those things out of the way so that I can move forward. Now, so pretty much, if you get the opportunity, I would strongly encourage that especially if you're an American or you live in America, that you watch the CNN interview with Glenn Beck, because it does show the substance of how people can change, whether or not you like the guy or not. It shows progress. It shows how we could progress as a people and the direction people should be working towards, where they quit developing strong biases that prevent them from working with other people, and where we can actually start to make progress by communicating, even with those who are opponents of what we are saying. So it's a really strong message, and it's an important topic. And kudos to Glenn Beck for doing it right. Final note on that interview, though, the host, he talks way too fast, and that's just my personal thing. I'm not saying my presentation skills are the greatest in these videos. These videos are really rough cut. I just got up for work. I got to work a 12-hour shift, so I'm just making this, a half an hour before I got to get ready for work and work all night. So, but the host, he talks extremely fast and loud, and everybody has their preferences. So I'm going to try and make these videos a little more presentable so that hopefully people start to look at them, because they have substance. So anyways, thank you. Love you, world.